No. Freedom Marchers. Snap Gorilla is in the building. Hitting y'all up with this impromptu. Got this impromptu live stream going. Varsity. The varsity in the building. Just wanted to hit y'all up with this live stream. Salute to my brother, Coach B. Hudson in the building. Salute to the comrade. I was doing my little ruck and heard some interesting news from the brother BFTB. And I wanted to touch on that real quick. Salute to Realize in the building. I'm getting my ruck on, y'all. You know, got the 80 pounds. Got the 80 pounds all together, you know. Getting a quick ruck in before me and the wife go get us some authentic street taco food, authentic street Mexican food. Looking forward to that. Anyway, so what is this news? Well, you know, apparently the Haney team has decided to move on from Rolly Romero for now because clearly Rolly Romero is a straight duck. So, you know, Devin Haney, he being as intelligent as he is, and you know his team being as smart as they are, they're going to move on and try to unify other belts. But here's the problem. The Willy, Tonka, and the chocolate Starfish factory crew got their prayers answered, right? Because we know, you know, the lieutenant or the captain or whatever you want to call him of that crew, you know, wished and prayed upon a star that Rolly Romero would not fight Devin Haney, would not unify. Got their dream. You know, clearly, it's not just a knockoff pity pat. It's Fanon, it's KQKC, all those dudes, you know, putting all that hate in the atmosphere. Let me tell you guys something about hate. Because this, you may believe that when your little hateful prayers are answered, that it's going to work in your favor. But I'm here to tell you that moving through life and praying and wishing and hoping on a hateful star, you may think you're getting what you want in the short term, but in reality, that is going to come back on you in a real negative way. Hold on, I got to text my son real quick. Hold on, guys. Do I walk every day? Only on leg days. I'll ruck on leg days. You know, this will basically be my leg day. Salute to Realize. But listen, this Devin Haney hate train, when are you guys going to learn? When y'all going to learn that the Devin Haney hate train, right, takes you straight to hell? Not because Devin Haney is a special person, not because Devin Haney is some benevolent being. No, it's because Devin Haney, right, and other fighters like him are minding their own goddamn business, right, trying to excel in a sport where your favorite fighter, they aren't doing that, right? What are they doing? They're not doing that. They're focused on the wrong things. They're focused on skating. right? They're focused on making as much money as they can while producing nothing, right? So this is who you got behind. And you feel like there needs to be some rivalry that doesn't exist. Rivalries happen between entities that are on the same path, that are after the same things. You see, Tonka Truck Davis, he's not on the same path as Devin Haney. He is not after the same things as Devin Haney. So therefore, there is no rivalry. There is competition between the two. I don't understand why this hate train has to exist in the first place. Because most of the Devin Haney haters are Tonka Truck baby munchers. Do I plan to box in the pros? No. I'm too old to box in the pros. I'm 46 years old. You know, I would have to be in the Masters League. So you guys think that you won something because Devin can't at all. Devin was not trying to fight Rolly for the sake of fighting Rolly. Devin was trying to fight Rolly because he was a champion, right? Devin is trying to fight champions. Who are these people? They're fighters. Who they are. I'm talking about boxing right now. Right? See, that's where you guys got it fucked up. The Willy Tonka and the chocolate factory, the chocolate Starfish factory, that's where y'all got it wrong. Devin is not after Willy Tonka's leftovers. He's after the champions. So, if Rolly fights another motherfucker and gets his belt taken, do you think Devin is going to fight Rolly Romero after that? Absolutely not. He's going to fight the motherfucker that took Rolly's belt. And he's going to fight that individual for said belt. He's not... Why would he fight Rolly after that? See? If Ryan Garcia beats Mario Barrios, he's going to fight Ryan Garcia for the belt. Not because he's Ryan Garcia, but because Ryan Garcia has now become the champion. So forth and so on. So, yes, you guys can continue the hate campaign and the hate train, but it's not going to work out for you in the long run. These small little victories, these short-sighted victories that you guys feel like you've won, well, it's not really going to amount to much. Because the guy that you backed, well, we don't even know if he's ever going to fight again. Salute to Adela Can Crack. Okay, salute to you. Realize, yeah, I'm good. How are you? So, you think Devin not fighting Rolly in this moment is a good thing? Or not necessarily, but that particular crew, those individuals who could be doing so much more for the sport, right? These big voices with all these subscribers and casuals that look to them to provide good information. You could be doing so much better for the sport. And instead, you're focused on the hate. You're focused on your hate for a particular fighter. And it's kind of crazy because that particular fighter is doing the best he can just to excel in the sport that he is a pro in. Your username translate is Great Hamster. Salute to you, Great Hamster. Good morning, driving force. Good morning to you. Is it morning where you at? It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon where I am. So, I'm not going anywhere in particular. I'm just working right now. Oh, you're in Hawaii? Salute to you. Salute to you in Hawaii. Where am I? I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, yeah, the bots and the trolls, they're in here right now, aren't they? Salute to you, driving force. Aloha to you. Aloha to you as well. See, operating out of hate, it only gives you so much energy. It only takes you so far, right? It's kind of like Star Wars. See, how much you hate you're driven by determines what side of the force you're on. The light side or the dark side, because dark force wielders, well, they're driven by hate and anger. And yes, they have all these extra powers that those on the light side, have. But those powers, when you use them, well, they take from your soul, right? Salute to the beautiful sugar-free Mars. Thank you for coming through. Thank you to my beautiful counterpart. Salute to you. When you're driven by hate and you are a force wielder, you are going to be on the dark side of the force. And yes, it appears that you are more powerful than a light force user. But what ends up happening is the dark side of the force, it consumes you, right? It consumes you. It withers you away. It drains you. It drains your life force. Yeah, so you can shoot lightning out of your asshole. You can do force chokes. But every time you do something like that, you become more and more desiccated, right? That's what dark force users do. Thank you for free Mars. I appreciate you. I just put the mango butter in there, you know what I mean? I use this stuff from a black-owned company. It's called Respected Roots. So I use their system, and I throw on some shea butter. Salute to you. Salute to you. Peace to you. In the first place. I appreciate you, Sugar Free Mars. Thank you. So, this hate train that y'all on against Devin Haney, y'all think it's going to work out. You think, let's put as much hate out there as we can. Let's use the dark side of the force. And when you use that dark side, you expose yourself for who you are. Right? So y'all wished Rolly wouldn't fight Devin. Well, you got your wish for now. But see, what might happen is Rolly gets taken out and Devin, well, When he comes back for that belt, it'll be that much more sweet. And guess what? Let me know if I'm back, y'all. Let me know, let me know. Let me know, y'all. So like I was saying, don't know if I'm good or not. So I'm just keep rocking for now. Listen, the hate that you guys are putting out in the universe for a boxer, is it that serious? Devin Haney do to garner so much hate? Bill Haney, what did he do? You see, the hate is truly unjustified. When you put that hate out there, it comes back. So even if you think you're getting your way, it's going to be a short-term thing. And then, salute to the real Shelton. Salute to you, brother. Well, when is knockoff never at it? He's always at it. No, this is just the brother BFTB put out the information that Devin Haney is going to be moving on from Rolly Romero, right? He's going to be moving on from Rolly Romero, and we know that the Willy Tonka chocolate factory crew, the chocolate Starfish factory, my bad. The Willy Tonka chocolate Starfish factory, they wished and prayed and hoped that Rolly would duck Devin. And I'm just explaining that this, this wishing and praying and hoping was done out of hatred for Devin Haney, right? It's really not justifiable. So I was just explaining that all this hate that y'all put out there, it may have gotten what you wanted in the short term, but I don't see this stopping Devin from achieving his goal, right? All it is it's a little bump in the road, right? And so that's all it is. The sport of boxing, just like freedom in just like real life, just like those who are just out here trying to Gia Fiana, salute to you. Salute to the Queen Gia Fiana. OMG, what's OMG? See, there are people that move about in this world. All they want to do is do the best they can and achieve their goals and mind their own goddamn business. Because, that's... Am I back? Listen, my stream is real choppy right now. I don't know if I'm back or not. Let me know. Oh, for sure. Here's the thing. When people, why do people hate those that are trying to achieve something? Why do those individuals get hated on the most? Right? It's like in the real world situations, real world scenarios involving politics. Why is it that the people that are trying to push the message of freedom, that are trying to expose the bullshit the government does, why are those people so much more hated by those who are more like them than the government that's committing these atrocities? Right? Why is it that the guy that's just trying to challenge himself and fight the best is receiving more hatred than the guy that has no interest in fighting the best, has no interest in, respecting his fans? Why is that guy so much more beloved? And you know what? It's not that I don't want somebody like Tonka Truck to be beloved. Go ahead. But why do you have to try to drag down a fighter who at this point, oh, you did? Salute to you, Queen Sugar Free Mars. On YouTube, make sure you drop your link. Make sure you drop your link. I would like to check that out. I'm gonna check that out. That's why we're counterparts, Sugar Free Mars. That's why we're counterparts. That's why, we are who we are. For sure, I'll check that out. Why? Because see, at this point, salute to Des in the building. Because at this point, salute to my brother, I am True Will in the building. Salute to you guys. At this point, Devin has nothing to do with Tonka Truck. Right? Salute to I am True Will. Make sure y'all drop y'all links in the chat. It's because he has a constant support of his father, and that makes a lot of people hate him subconsciously. See, that's sad. See, that's definitely part of it. But at this point, Devin has moved on, right? He's moved on. He's moved on from Tonka Truck. Tonka Truck is still at 135. We don't know when he's going to fight. Devin has listen. Devin is doing his own thing, right? And because they're fatherless. I hear y'all. But let me just say this as a grown-ass man, right? As a grown-ass man, it comes a point where you have to start, if you are a functioning adult, right? Now, I don't know if the leaders of the hate crew don't have fathers or not. I know that Fanon had problems with his father. Whatever. He's a grown-ass man. Ain't he in his 50s? These dudes is grown. My father walked out of my life when I was 4 years old. I didn't see him again until I was 25. 20 years. And, yeah, do you have your hang-ups? No, yeah, sure you do. But I don't see someone like Bill Haney being in his son's life. I don't see that as a problem, right? Why would I? I'm like, man, salute to Bill Haney for being there for his son. And guess what? That has nothing to do with me, right? Bill Haney being there for his son does not affect me in a negative way because my father wasn't there. See, this is called understanding. I'm not going to use my father not being there as an excuse to hate. I don't, it's really ridiculous. Oh yeah, goofballs. Is that what he was doing, Trill? As hell. I don't see that as a, I mean, that is not a negative, that has no negative impact. As a matter of fact, it's inspiring, right? It's inspiring. I have 6 kids. I got 6 kids all by the same woman. And I couldn't imagine not being in life. So I took what my father did and I said, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to make sure I'm in my children's life. Right? And that's how I roll. You know? Number 52. No shit. Report Caucasian debris for hate speech. Y'all funny. Listen, man. Oh, you reported them? That's what's up. So listen. That y'all hatred, y'all hate for Devin Haney, y'all hate for Bill, simply because they're trying to be out here and be great and excel at the sport they signed up to be professionals in. Those small little victories, those small little hateful victories, that's all they are. That's all they are. That's all they are. It amounts to nothing because it ain't gonna stop shit. See, you might want to consider, because I believe in energy. I believe in energy, right? What does energy do? What do we know about energy? By law. The law of thermodynamics, the law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? Energy can be transferred, transformed, but it can't be created or destroyed. That energy has to go somewhere. So I believe in energy. Everything we do requires energy, right? And puts energy out. Yes, energy is extremely important. Irf Almighty says, the way Tank acted after Rose Draw showed me he's terrified at the thought of losing, and that's mentality lost me as a fan. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. You know? So, all that hoping and praying and wishing, all that did was create a temporary roadblock. That's all it did. Because guess what? Will this information get you rich? What are you talking about? Kevin Lester, what information do you have to get yourself rich? You expecting that from me? You might want to consider it might actually get you rich if you put positive energy out in the universe and you move through life righteously. Positive energy comes back. So, I mean, take that as you will. The gibberish is called Welcome to Blockville. That's funny. I want you guys to consider this. You know, the Willy Tonka chocolate Starfish factory crew. You see, you guys started this hate campaign a long time ago, years ago, against Devin Haney. And, you know, what happened? The hate that you guys put out in the universe caused him to be cheated by a racist drug cheat, right? It came out that the guy that beat Devin Haney, barely, right? Barely. It turned out he was a drug cheat. Yeah. But instead of looking at that and saying, man, that's crazy, hopefully you can get that back. Hopefully justice will be served. You guys hoped and wished and prayed that justice would not be served. Y'all made up shit. Y'all lied. Y'all said Ryan Garcia was cleared when he wasn't. Y'all said, oh, well, the drugs, that was the last thing. That was the lowest thing on the totem pole as to why Devin lost. I'm sure Will says energy with the right people will make you very wealthy. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, it will. See, you guys did that. You said, oh, well, it's the last thing that you guys made all kind of excuses up, right? You guys did that. You guys said, oh, Devin has PTSD. All this shit. You guys have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. What happens when Ryan Garcia fights Rolly Romero? He looked like a fucking shell, right? We knew he wasn't on drugs. We knew because, well, he performed like ass. And even before the fight, he looked like ass. He looked deflated, low energy. You know what that is? That hate that you guys put out there that, you guys drugged Devin through the mud for an entire year after it was found out he was cheated by Ryan Garcia. You made excuses for Ryan. You protected Ryan. You guys became fanboys of Ryan, right? And then when the moment of truth came for Ryan Garcia to show that he did not need performance-enhancing drugs, what happened? Yeah. He got his ass beat, didn't he? Got his ass beat. And Devin was even still trying to fight him. But obviously, Ryan Garcia ducked. You guys wished and prayed and hoped that Devin could not get out of the way of a left hook, that he would get knocked out by Jose Ramirez. You guys wished and prayed and hoped for that. Oh, it's the PTSD and the drugs had nothing to do with it. All that shit that you guys put out. Guess what? Devin did not get touched by one fucking left hook, did he? No, he didn't. As a matter of fact, he was touching Jose Ramirez with left hooks. So how far did the hate get y'all then? Not very far, but you guys continued to try, didn't you? Right? Even after that. Oh, I didn't like Devin's performance. He was running, he was moving too much, and the questions still weren't answered. The PTSD questions, the questions on whether or not he can get out of the way of the left hook, those weren't answered at that point in time. You guys said what? What did you think? What was produced by that? Y'all didn't see the writing on the wall? In comes Brian Norman Jr. Yes, what did you guys do? You guys wrapped your energy of hatred. You guys enveloped Brian Norman Jr. with that shit, didn't you? Y'all had Brian Norman Sr. out here acting an ass. Yeah, showing his ass all over the place. You got him on the hate train along with y'all. And it was still questions, weren't there? Oh, PTSD and the left hook question. You guys still had questions. You guys still had hate. You guys still had wishes and prayers. You guys wanted Devin to get knocked out by Brian Norman Jr. You wanted him to get hit by left hooks, didn't you? How far did that hate get you? In the moment, while you were campaigning for Brian Norman Jr. to beat Devin, not because you guys use boxing knowledge, because if all you had to do is go look at Brian Norman Jr.'s fights and look at Devin's fights, and you guys you should be able to make a determination on who's more likely to win that fight. But you guys decided to go with the hate instead. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? You guys got a lot of people to bet against Devin, didn't you? Yes, you did. You lost a lot of people a lot of money. And Devin, what did he show? He overcame you guys' hateful energy, the hate train, it did nothing to him, right? He was able to overcome and defeat Brian Norman Jr. And y'all where's Brian Norman Jr. now? What did y'all do with him? Y'all don't talk about Brian Norman Jr. no more. Is Brian Norman Sr. still going around platform to platform, having discussions with these platformers, these people? No, you don't. You don't see that, do you? No. You don't see it. Where they at? How far did the hate get y'all in that time? Where did it get you? But you still don't learn. You still don't learn. and now you have stooped low enough to go out and put it just on YouTube and just put it out there for thousands and thousands of people to see that you're praying for a champion at 147, not to fight Devin and try to unify. For what reason? I mean, come on. That's what y'all did. Oh, I pray and wish, or I wish and pray that this motherfucker don't fight Devin. And for what? What benefit? How does that benefit you if Devin Haney doesn't fight Rolly? What does that do for you? What does that do for your favorite fighter? The Twins, salute to you. Salute to Kawhi Elliott. There was no Norman crew. Just so you know. There was no Norman crew. There never was. There was the Willy Tonka Chocolate Starfish Factory crew. The Devin Haney haters. What does Rolly not fighting Devin do for you? Not a motherfucking thing. Right? So, yeah. Okay, Rolly's not going to fight Devin right now. Who should Devin fight next? That's tough. He might have to defend. He might have to defend his... He needs to fight somebody, though. He shouldn't wait, right? Because these guys are going to try to box him out, freeze him out. You know, they're busy, right? They're busy. So, you know, Crocker's busy. Rolly Romero ducked. Mario Barrios is busy. He might need to fight. He might need to defend his belt and stay active. So I don't know who that would be. I'm not looking at I don't have the rankings in front of me right now, but he might have to defend. Stay active, stay fresh, you know, and just until another champion becomes available. Whoever's available first. Whoever's willing to fight him, right? At 147. Whatever champion. Maybe Rolly fights whatever the fuck that dude's name is that he's going to fight. And maybe Rolly gets his ass beat, and then Devin could fight that guy. Salute to you, NTZ Claw. I respect that. I respect you for that. But at the end of the day, I mean, the likely thing that's going to happen is, despite all the hate, despite all the bullshit, despite all the prayers, crazy. Praying to another man to not fight another man is crazy work. But this is what these guys did, and they got their wish. But now, Devin just has to move on. He has to do what he has to do. So they think that is going to amount to something, but it's really not at the end of the day. And when they realize that, it's going to be too late. Their guy, who continues to just a negative, a guy that just really does not need to be in the sport any longer. Their guy is going to continue to show and prove that, you know, he's really not good for the sport, and the sport's not good for him. Right? He has a lot of work that he has to do, but this is who they hitch their wagon to. So they had to do their level best to cover for him, to do damage control, to distract, to just focus their energy and hate on another fighter. That really just does not make any sense. And so this is where we're at in the sport. It really does affect the entire sport negatively, y'all. I mean, look what happens. Look what's going on with these fighters now. Look at what's going on with T.O. versus Shakur Stevenson. What is the biggest thing we learned from Shakur, and what was the biggest thing we learned from them this past week? That they both are openly ducking Devin, right? All this maneuvering, not, even with Keyshawn Davis in Africa, and Shakur being called out for not fighting his brothers. People have made it much too comfortable for fighters to duck. Right, Sugar Free? And this is all this is all an effect, right? You have cause and effect. This is all an effect from this atmosphere that was created by the Tonka truck knob gobblers. It just really simply is. Everybody's comfortable to openly duck, openly make excuses. Now T.O. is trying to convince us that him ducking Devin all these years was some type of grand plan to fight Devin after Shakur. This is what he's telling people. You got T.O. calling out Shakur for not fighting Keyshawn to try to be the best at 135. And Shakur openly saying, yeah, I'll never fight my brother. I'll never fight him no matter how much money. It's never going to happen. And he thought, did he think that was some solid shit to say? These motherfuckers think it's solid to duck. Goddamn, yes, absolutely, Sugar Free Mars. I call them pussy lips. They're pussy lips. Exactly, they think it's fucking cute. These people have made it extremely comfortable to duck. And then the same people that don't stay on their fighters for ducking, they try to go, you better not say shit about Shakur. You shouldn't have anything to say about Shakur, T.O., if you back a motherfucker like Tonka Truck. Y'all have made it extremely comfortable for motherfuckers to duck. Y'all made it comfortable for Tonka Truck. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all did. Y'all made it comfortable. Y'all made it a thing. Y'all made it, oh yeah, it's okay to, all these excuses, he's too big, I can't go to 140. And now I can't go to 140 to fight Devin. But I can go to 195 to fight Jake Paul. But and what does that lead to? That leads to Shakur being comfortable enough to say, yeah, I'll go to 147 to fight Conor Ben, but I won't fight Devin at 147. I can't have Devin not be drained to fight him. You had Shakur come out and say, oh, he gonna be drained. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fight me a drained Devin. When he thought Devin might stay at 135 to face him. Sugar Free Mars says, I'm appalled beyond words. The mentality is a cancer in the sport. Exactly. And this is why this shit needs to be called out. Oh yeah. Oh, he's gonna be drained. Oh yeah, it's bullshit, right? This is what the sport has come to. Right? You could say it started with Mayweather and all these guys, How long did Pacquiao duck Mayweather for to avoid the needle? To avoid Olympic-style testing. It started back then, but only the Pac-tards right? Only the Pactars defended Pacquiao, right? Most people called him out. Yeah. Mayweather, Pacquiao will duck Mayweather for years, but he got called out for the most part. Mayweather got called out for when he was perceived to be ducking. This shit really, like, the acceptance of the duck, depending on who the fighter is, that shit really just started with Tonka truck. That's really where it picked up steam. And now the only cat that will probably ever be called out for ducking is Devin Haney. Everybody else gets defended. Booth gets defended. Brian Norman Jr. got defended. Tonka truck gets defended. Shakur Stevenson. These people come out of the woodworks. If they have any orbit around Devin Haney, see, it's the orbiters. That's what, you know how you call if you a girl or you're a dude and you got a man and you got all these dudes that are hanging around waiting for you to break up, the orbiters. The twins in the building. The orbiters. Oh, I am? Oh, salute to, well, Sugar Free Mars. Look at that. That's crazy. I promise you, I did not see your post yet. I can't wait to check it out. I promise you I didn't. This is all just coming off the dome. The orbiters. Everybody in Devin's orbit can duck. It's crazy work. Who's calling out Rolly but the LDBC? And Champ Side and Sugar Free Mars and people like, who's calling these people out? It's the usual suspects, right? Yes, Sugar Free Mars, I am cognizant. Yes, thank you so much. The orbiters, if you're in Devin's orbit, you can duck. I find that to be very interesting. Even if you're not even fighting in the same weight class, you can be in a completely different, you could be fighting the goddamn 126. Do I remember you? Odlin Carncrack? Yeah, I remember you from earlier in the life. Sure. You can be a goddamn, listen, if you in Devin's orbit, you can duck. It's crazy work. It's crazy. And it's really sad, man. It's just, maybe it's because Devin is blazing his own path, not signed to anybody, doing his own independent thing. And, they don't really appreciate that, right? So the station bodies, the networks, the promoters, they have a clear-cut agenda. And I can understand that from their viewpoint, right? It makes sense because we don't need Devin spreading independence. We don't need Devin showing an example of why. So I can, from that standpoint, okay, Eddie Hearn, I understand the hate from Eddie Hearn. I understand the hate from Bob Arum. And even, hell, Floyd Mayweather. It makes sense from their standpoint, right? He fucking up their business. He can go straight to Turkey Al-Sheikh and make $10 to $15 million and not have to pay us shit? Oh, hell no. I can understand that. I ain't rolling with it. No shit, Sugar Free. That's crazy. I can understand it from their standpoint. Okay, Devin's fucking up the business. Turkey Al-Sheikh is fucking up the business. But see, they're not going to go after Turkey Al-Sheikh like they're going after Devin because Turkey Al-Sheikh got the bread. And they're losing the networks. They have no backing. They have no budget without Turkey Al-Sheikh. So why are the fans, why is the media, why is YouTube, the YouTube Boxing Network, why are they hating on Devin so hard? You got Max Kellerman coming out. Oh, he's a Hall of Famer, but he ain't great. For what? Right? It doesn't make sense for these. If you're a Tonka truck fan and you want Tonka truck to make the most money, you want Tonka truck example of a Devin Haney. Yes, they fear his, exactly, sugar-free Mars. That's exactly why. Because he has the blueprint and he has a turkey a la chic. So they should be pushing, okay, but they're so blinded by their hate for Devin, they don't see that they should be pushing Tonka truck. Terrence Crawford had that vision. That's why he's a promotional free agent, a network promotional free agent, whatever. He said that Shakur should do what Devin is doing. See, Terrence Crawford listened to Bill Haney on several occasions, and it worked out great for him, didn't it? Salute to Christopher White. Peace out, brother. Peace out. Terrence Crawford got some wisdom from Bill, didn't he? And he made out like a little fat cat, didn't he? I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo to fight Terrence Crawford. But the bottom line is this. Terrence Crawford is following Devin's example. Canelo followed Devin's example, right? He went to the PBC, got his little $70 million, and said, man, fuck all that. What can you do for me that I can't do for myself? I'm Canelo. So Canelo went straight to Turkey a la chic. Turkey a la chic went straight to him. And he lost to Terrence Crawford, but he made what, $120 million? Yes, they followed Devin's example and made hundreds of millions of tens of millions, $100 million. See, that's what Tonka truck should be doing. And that's what these fucknuts, the chocolate Starfish factory crew, they should be pushing Tonka truck to follow the example of Devin. But instead, they're blinded by hatred. See, that hatred is what got Tonka truck fucked up in the first place. See, they don't see it. They don't understand how their energy, their negative, hateful energy, got being emboldened by it, because trust and believe that Tonka truck is emboldened and enriched by that hatred. And that's why he feels like I can tell you, listen, y'all gonna support me no matter what. You're gonna back me. I can call you a soft ass fucknut. I can call you soft. Right? Yes. And look, that got Tank fucked off in the game. So understand that. So like I was saying from the beginning, that's the whole point of this live stream. Go ahead. Keep praying and wishing and hoping that Devin fails. And you'll continue to see your fighter fail like he's failing right now. Anyway, gotta get out of here. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate the support, the likes, and all that good shit. Thank you so much. Sugar-Free Mars, I'm gonna go check out your post. I'm very interested to see what you had to say. Guess what, man? Hatred ain't gonna get you nowhere, all right? Hatred, it's not gonna work out for you. Salute to Kawhi, salute to Sugar-Free Mars, Lawrence, Silent Boss. Brother Shelton was up in here. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.